What is up, summoners? Welcome to the channel today. Thank you for coming back for a quick recap video on the Labyrinth of Legends run that I literally just got through a couple of hours ago. Finished that thing up last night. It was about 2 a.m. I think right around 2 a.m. my time when I got through that thing. And right now it's lunchtime. It's 12:05. So I wanted to come back and get this recap video done while it was all still very fresh in my mind. I have a lot of things I want to cover here briefly. I have a lot of thank yous to give out, so let's just jump right into this thing. Let me grab my notepad here. The first question that I had, and I think a lot of the community had, they were interested to see, was whether or not Magik was a viable option to run through Labyrinth of Legends. And the answer to that, I believe, is yes, with like a big asterisk, see below, see the small detail, or see the small print below. Which, let me just jump over to the map and I'll kind of explain how my run went. So we started off Red Hulk. I think I got down in 2 kills, which I was pretty happy with, either 2 or 3. And then definitely the highlight of the evening for me happened immediately with Old Man Logan. I one-shot Old Man Logan. I was not expecting to one-shot anybody. I was going to be really happy if I could get through anybody in one death, but to one-shot somebody, especially so quickly into the run, was just, it was a big boost for me. It was at that point when I finally got through Red Hulk, and I didn't have the class disadvantage, and I didn't have all that physical resistance from his abilities. I really wasn't sure what kind of damage output she was going to have. And I was really excited to see Old Man Logan, but for me personally, it then set the bar so high that pretty much anything outside of that, one shot, felt almost like a failure from then on out. But yeah, definitely you can go watch it in live stream. The first part is where Old Man Logan is at. Moving on to Elektra, I think I had like 3 deaths against her, 3 or 4. She was actually a little bit tricky there. Miss Marvel got through that fight quickly. UC got through that fight quickly. Then on to Colossus, and I wasn't really sure how this fight was going to go, but honestly, it went very smoothly. Her damage output was good. Made a couple of silly mistakes and still got through the fight, I think in like 4 deaths, 5 at the most. I think it was 4. And then moved very quickly right up into Falcon, which that top line there with Falcon, Magik, War Machine, I was really excited to be able to use Magik. Because there's a lot of issues with the limbo and the special one from Falcon and War Machine that could be an issue, but the way that I was playing with the power locking and the intercepting, it worked perfectly for those fights. I blew right through all of those fights. Really, it was my plan and my goal was to get to Magik last night and stop and then pick it back up Tuesday. But I got through all of those fights. I got to Ant-Man, I want to say, in like just over 2 hours. I mean, I was flying through this thing, and not that I was necessarily trying to push myself, but it was just going very quickly. So it was at that point I decided to just go ahead and jump into Ant-Man, and that is really where I hit physically what felt very much like a wall. The glancing ability from Ant-Man didn't allow me to always have, in fact, probably less than 50% of the time, able to power lock him with the S2. So it totally took me out of my rhythm. The damage output was really bad. That fight took forever. It was at that point I was getting physically pretty tired. I was not as focused on the fight as I should have been. It was not difficult, but I played very poorly. I think I died maybe, I don't know, I was probably 10 to 15 times on Ant-Man. It's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. The one thing that I can say to you is that because I am a content creator, because I was doing it live and there were a lot of people in there, I felt compelled to continue to go. But what I would recommend to you is that if you are trying to use Magik, or really anybody at all, don't feel like you have to sit down and do the whole thing in one run. Definitely take breaks. That would have helped me out big time if I would have been able to just put the phone down and just come back the next day, but I didn't. I wanted to push myself through. And that's my first piece of recommendation. Definitely take more breaks than I did. Once I finally got through Ant-Man, I almost one-shot Deadpool. I got him down to, I think, 300,000 or 400,000 health. I really thought I had it, made a mistake there at the end, and he caught me. But after Ant-Man, Deadpool, Daredevil, Venom, Iron Fist, Civil Warrior, they all went down very quickly. Venom, I think I died once on. Iron Fist, I think I died twice on. So it was like in less than an hour, maybe an hour, I got through all of those fights and right back up into Maestro. Once I got to Maestro, I think I had only been going for about 5 hours, which was pretty good. I felt that it was pretty good, but Maestro, and I have no one else to blame but myself, I was not prepared for how difficult that fight against Maestro was going to be. When I talked to people that had used Magik, there were a couple people that had done it, and from what I was reading, I was just doing some brief reading, I was aware that Mystic Champs have the poison, like when you're attacking him while he's blocking, there's a poison that he applies to you, which in my mind, the way I was kind of planning it out was that, you know, my limbo is up a lot, so that's gonna give me back a lot of that damage. I'm gonna have willpower, which is gonna recover a lot of that. I'll be able to, you know, use my S2 and lock him down so I can be intercepting, won't be attacking into his block a lot. And in my mind, that's how the fight was going to go, but it actually was way, way different than that. Not only does he have poison when you attack him while he's blocking, but that poison ticks higher and higher throughout the fight. So by the end of the fight, it was almost 900 damage per tick. On top of that, you have a permanent heal block as a Mystic Champ. So for me, the poison's going to kill you. I was running suicides, so the bleed was going to kill me. I couldn't use my specials because of recoil, which I would say about 10 to 15 fights in, I finally decided to switch over my masteries because it was just way too much, which that helped a lot switching the masteries. But even having said that, you also have a power lock on yourself that gets placed. So not only could I not attack him while he was blocking, so I was totally out of my rhythm. I could not lock him down, because if I locked him down, I couldn't bait out specials and have an opportunity to hit him. Myself personally, I couldn't chain it up. I couldn't chain the S2s together because I was power locked, and just all of those things together, I was not prepared for. I greatly underestimated the amount of units and the amount of revives and potions that it was going to take to get through this, which Ant-Man was a pain, I'll give you that. I spent quite a few revives on Ant-Man, but everything up to that point, I don't even think I had spent as many items as it took me to get through Maestro, which is pretty incredible to think, but there was no way that I could have gotten through that last night without all of the generous support from the MCOC community. The people that were in chat last night were very, very generous. I had so many people friend requesting me, sending me revives, sending me potions, and I don't want to start naming names because I'll forget somebody, but yeah, you guys were, I'll say it again, you were incredibly generous, incredibly kind. That Maestro kill was completely, on you guys. If you would not have been there last night, I would have had to drop a significant amount of money on units to get through that fight. So yeah, big shout out to you guys. The big takeaway here is that for me personally, Magik, let me step back. If you have Star-Lord, if you have Gwenpool, if you have another Rocket Raccoon, if you have a character as a 5-star rank 4 that does a lot of damage, take them in. Don't take in Magik. But Magik is a very viable option if you can master the S2 spam, the power lock intercept, that technique in the corner that I was using. She is really, really good against every fight except for Ant-Man and Maestro. So if I had to do it all over again, and what I would recommend to you is if you're dead set on using Magik, make sure you switch up your synergy team, and in your synergy team, bring somebody that you can use to take down Maestro specifically, but you can also use for Ant-Man. I took in Yellow Jacket, Ant-Man, Magneto, and Cyclops for the 20% attack boost. I was trying to boost up my limbo damage as much as possible since that was ticking constantly throughout the fight. But switch that team up, bring in somebody else. Maybe if you've got a 4-star Star-Lord, he probably would work much better against Ant-Man, probably much better against Maestro. Maybe if you wanted to use a mutant team, if you had a 5-star Storm, she probably would work a lot better against Maestro. So that is the that is by far the biggest takeaway, is that Mystic Champs are not good against Maestro. In fact, Mystic Champs, I would say, are by far your worst option. I would take anybody else in. outside of a Mystic champ to deal with Maestro. You will just spend so many units and so many items trying to get through that. It is just not worth it. So heed my warning, heed my advice. I took one for the community there. She is really, really good against all the other fights, but she's not good against Maestro. So definitely plan for that. Along the lines of donations, well, before I get to that, in the, where is he? He's down there. The commentator that we had last night, I'm sure you're all aware, was Brian Grant. He was gracious enough to come by, and I changed the start time on him a couple times, and he was still able to be there. Took out a lot of time to be there. I was not expecting him to be there the whole time, and he stuck around for the entire thing, which I think our entire Skype call was almost 8 hours. I think he said it was like 7.5 hours, 7 hours, 40 minutes, something like that. So he pushed off his live stream to be there, and I cannot thank him enough for that. The stream would not have been really anything without him. All of his corny jokes, his commentary, just keeping things kind of smoothly going. I can't thank you enough. It was a lot of fun. If you, for some reason, are not subscribed to his channel, which I cannot believe that you would be subscribed to mine and not his, I will leave the link to his channel down in the description below. Make sure that you go down there, and if you are subscribed, go like all of his videos and go leave a nice comment for all the hard work that he did last night. Then, I feel like there's a couple other things. Oh, yes, masteries. Let me get into my masteries real quick. I don't have my mastery set up from last night that I used because I switched it all once I got to Maestro. The way I did it is because I was not really parrying at all. I took out all points out of Stupefy, and I only had 1 point in parry, and I took all of those over into the offensive tree. I had recoil opened up, and I had 2 points down in double edge. And the reason that I put 2 points down in double edge and not into liquid courage is once I got through the bleed damage from double edge, I was not really taking any more damage from the suicide masteries. The way that limbo works with Magik, you recover all of that recoil damage. The only time that it affects you is when you get down to very little health. The recoil kicks in before limbo gives it back. So if you have very little health, the recoil is going to kill you before limbo can kick it back. But that's the reason why I did it. And honestly, I personally, I feel like it worked really, really well. Again, outside of Maestro. But yeah, I dumped everything. I dumped everything into the offensive side. And certainly, last but not least, I do have to mention, and my death counter there is roughly correct. It's funny because looking at that number and knowing how many times I died between Maestro and Ant-Man, between those two characters, it was way more than half of my deaths. So that's why I say, looking at this map, I mean, she was good for all of these fights except for Ant-Man and Maestro. But if you are more prepared than I am and bring in somebody else, you probably have a lot more success. And then finally, I do have to give a very heartfelt thank you to all these people. They're in no particular order here, but I'll read each and every one of their names. These are the people who donated through the Super Chat last night and also through PayPal. Really, I mean, the community is super, super generous. I really don't know how to express how grateful and thankful I am, and it blows me away every single time that I interact with the community, just how overwhelmingly kind and generous they are. But Dorky Diggity Dave, Omega Mutant, Pantherus, NZ, and I'm going to screw up somebody's name here, so I apologize. The Real Deal, Keith Winnett, Richie V, Joshua Keeler, Spider77, Graphics Inc., and big shout out to Spider77 and Graphics Inc. Both those guys dropped big super chats. I can't thank you enough. Ham, iMac, Vinnie Mac, The Glory of Man, Joy Melu, is it Joy Melu? I'm sorry, Joey, I screwed your name up, bud. Bob the Knob, Big O, Dom Nusk, Mike McLean, Booker, The Nemesis Crisis, Kashoti, and Andreas Paulades? Man, Paulades? Either way, really, again, from the bottom of my heart, I really do thank you guys. It does mean a lot. All right, and with that, the best part is yet to come, because I am sitting on my 5-star Awakening Gem, which I will show it to you guys. I have not opened it up yet. It's here somewhere. Oh, Lord, where's it at? I'm getting scared. Okay, there it is. I passed it. So we got the 5-star Awakening Gem, and we also have close to 30,000, which I don't know what I want to do. We've got Spider-Man, who is still in the 5-star crystal basically for another 2 days. Do I want to try? I don't think I can get to 30,000 5-star shards to be able to open 2 of those in the next 2 days. So I honestly don't know. I will make my decision here shortly, and I'm not sure I'm going to open them live. I may just record a video, but yeah, that's going to be happening here very, very shortly. I'll make my decision and jump in there. And then also, I'm actually, I think, even more excited about the fact that we picked up 4 of the T2 alphas right down there, which means we have enough to take another 5-star character up to rank 4. So I'm really, really hoping that whatever I decide to do with my 5-star shards, that we get somebody who is worthy of taking up to rank 4, because as of right now, my options in the 5-star class, they're not great. We've got Magik and Winter Soldier up already. Outside of that, there's nobody that I really want to take to rank 4 out of this group. So fingers crossed that that the opening goes well. That will happen. I may record that today, but at the very latest, it's going to happen by Friday, unless for some strange turn of events I decide to go for Vulture. I don't know. Maybe I'll pop open the Awakening Gem and 1 regular 5-star, and we'll see what happens, and maybe that will help me make my decision on whether or not I want to go for a featured crystal or not. But either way, guys, it was a lot of fun. It was crazier than I thought it was going to be. My stash is just sad looking. I have 3 units up there. My inventory is almost nothing, which sucks because we've got the Spidey event dropping tomorrow. So yeah, the road to building back up my units has begun. Which thankfully we do have Gwenpool. It's going to be dropping this Thursday in the basic arena. I will be going for her at least once, so that will help to build up the battle chips, build up the units. So that'll all start Thursday. I probably will take tonight off. I don't see myself live streaming. I need to get out of this office. But we'll see how tomorrow goes as far as Wednesday. But definitely by Thursday, we'll be back on the grind. We'll be back live streaming, going for Gwenpool. So big shout out to everybody. It was a lot of fun. Brian, dude, we'll do it again sometime. Did I cover everything? I think I did. All right, guys, I appreciate all the support. Until I see you all in the next video, have a great day.